There are uncertainties over the economic situation that await Nigerians and other residents in the West Africa country in 2025 after President Bola Ahmed Tinubu presented the sum of 49.7 trillion Naira's 2025 Budget Appropriation Bill before the joint session of the Senate and House of Representatives of the National Assembly, with a revenue target of 34.82 trillion Nairas, hikes the dollar to Naira exchange rate by 100%. From 750 Nairas in 2024 to pegging amount of 1,500 Nairas in 2025. It would be recalled that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in his first budget presentation as Nigeria President on November 29, 2023, pegged 750 Nairas to $1 as exchange rate for 2024. The president pegged the dollar rate at 750 Nairas when the foreign currency was fluctuating between 856 Nairas and 900 Nairas as at last quarter of 2023. The 750 Nairas dollar rate pegging for 2024 by the president saw the foreign currency currently exchanging between 1,656 Nairas and 1,700 Nairas, representing more than 100% negative increasement in the last quarter of 2024 when compared to the dollar rate as at December 2023. With the president pegging 2025 dollar rate at 1,500 Nairas, there are possibilities that the dollar may trade between 2,856 Nairas and 3,000 Nairas before the end of the last quarter of 2025. In line with the previous year's economic and exchange rate behavioral patterns and realities in the country. This shows there may be more harder and tougher times in 2025 for larger numbers of residents, both the middle class and the poor in the country, as the federal government showed more wider vision and quest for more revenue in the year ahead. The 2025 budget shows that more than 30% of the 49.7 trillion Naira will be used to service existing loans, with the government planning to borrow more new loans in 2025, sequel to the budget deficit of more than 13 trillion Naira. According to local media, the passage of the 2025 Appropriation Bill for second reading within 24 hours by the lawmakers marks an important milestone in the budgeting process. The bill will undergo further scrutiny and debate before its final passage. As the Senate resumes its plenary session in January, lawmakers are expected to delve deeper into the budget and make necessary adjustments so that it aligns with the country's development priorities. Details of the 2025 budget presentation, as reported by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, reads in full below. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu Wednesday in Abuja assured Nigerians of better days ahead as economic reforms begin to yield positive results, with noticeable signals in improved security, education, health care, and a globally acknowledged 3.4% GDP growth in third quarter of 2024. President Tinubu gave the assurance at the National Assembly during European Commission (EC) President von der Leyen on Tuesday visited Turkey President Recep Erdogan and discussed additional €1 billion for the settlement of Syria refugees in Turkey days after Israeli forces patrolled inside a recently seized demilitarized zone along the border with Syria, as Tel Aviv announced plans to double the number of Israelis living in the part of the Golan Heights Israel captured from Syria in 1967, with reports of hostilities between US-backed Kurdish group and Turkey-backed Islamist group in recent days in Kurdish towns, which United Nations Special Envoy for Syria, Geir Pedersen, said on Tuesday there have been conflicts in Syria in last 2 weeks, and the conflicts among the rebels, if left uncontrolled, may be catastrophic. European Commission, in a news release on Tuesday, reported that the Commission President visited Turkey and discussed additional €1 billion for 2024 to support Turkey's efforts to host Syria refugees. The news release reads in details thus: "Thank you, President Erdogan, for your warm welcome to Ankara today. Let me start with our discussion on Syria. The collapse of the Assad regime offers new hope to the Syrian people, but it equally comes with risks. The situation on the ground remains extremely volatile, so we are closely monitoring the developments. The Syrian people deserve a peaceful transition, one that preserves their country's territorial integrity and sovereignty, one that upholds state institutions, and one that reflects the aspirations of the Syrian people in all their diversity. So, it means that national unity must be respected, and minorities must be protected. This is aligned with the principles agreed by the foreign ministers meeting in Aqaba. Europe is ready to do its part to support Syria at this critical juncture. Allow me to mention some points where the European Union will be active right away. Our top diplomat returns to Damascus. We already have a European presence in Damascus through our humanitarian teams. Indeed, we have always maintained our presence in Syria to support those in need while respecting the principles of no contact, no cooperation, no funding to the Assad regime. But now we have to step up and continue our direct engagement with HTS and other factions. We will enhance our engagement in early recovery, including basic services like electricity and water, and infrastructure. We have increased our humanitarian aid to more than 160 million euros for this year alone. And we have launched a humanitarian air bridge, and the first goods are expected to arrive this week. Europe is already Syria's biggest donor. Since 2011, our annual Syria conferences have mobilized over 33 billion euros. We must continue this support, with a new focus on reconstruction. This will be a step-by-step approach. And we would need to start a discussion on sanctions relief. But this can only happen if real progress on a peaceful transition is seen on the ground. Indeed, the fall of the Assad regime, men of the Nigeria police force have raided series of criminal hideouts across the country, arrested 128 suspects after the police operatives had earlier arrested armed robbers in Anambra State and recovered over 129 billion naira counterfeit currencies from suspected criminals in Kano State ahead of the 2024-2025 Christmas and New Year celebrations in the country. Details of the news reports are presented verbatim as reported by the Force Public Relations Officer, Olumiwa Adejobi below. As the festive season approaches, the Nigeria Police Force remains vigilant and proactive, ramping up its efforts to ensure the safety and security of all citizens. In a series of proactive measures, the force has intensified its operations, leading to numerous successful raids, arrests and recoveries. In line with the directive of the Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Adeolu Egbetokun to in place efficient security measures against crime during this festive season, operatives of the Nigeria Police Force in several state commands across the country have carried out intensive patrols and raids, successfully dislodging and arresting scores of hoodlums and recovering dangerous weapons. Operatives of the Lagos State Police Command on the 14th of December 2024 carried out several raids of criminal hideouts in the Isolo axis of the state, successfully apprehending 43 suspects, and recovering various exhibits including large quantities of cannabis, daggers, swords and several fetish items. In the same vein, on the 15th of December 2024, police operatives of the Lagos State Command arrested one Charles Orji, male, at Isheri Osun, Lagos State, who tried to steal a Toyota Hilux from where it was parked. Upon his arrest and a subsequent search, 7 different Toyota car keys were recovered from him. Operatives of the Nigeria Police Force continue to demonstrate unwavering commitment to safeguarding lives and property by diligently increasing vigilance and executing coordinated security measures in various regions across the country. This concerted effort is notably observed in states like Kaduna, Zamfara, Taraba, Edo, Delta, Benue, and Niger, among other critical areas. As we enter the final stretch of the festivities, the Nigeria Police Force assures citizens that it will continue its mission to deter crime and protect the lives and property of all Nigerians. The force remains unwavering in this mission to provide a safe environment during the holiday season, as members of the public are urged to stay vigilant and report any suspicious activities to the authorities. As we approach the Yuletide festivities, the Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Adeolu Egbetokun, has assured the good citizens of Nigeria of the emplacement of intensive security measures to ensure the safety and protection of lives and property. To this effect, the IGP has directed the immediate deployment of adequate personnel to strategic locations, key areas and identified hotspots across all states, an initiative aimed at curbing traffic, highway robberies.
Bringing you the news in a more digital way.